Hi, welcome to my video on the angles of an isosceles triangle. The angles of an isosceles triangle. An isosceles triangle has two sides equal. Triangle ABC. Triangle ABC is isosceles with AB equal to AC. BC is the base. Angle A is the vertex or apex angle, right there. It is formed by the equal sides. So if these two sides, AB and AC, are marked equal, that means the angle formed by those two sides is the apex angle, which is the vertex angle. That means if these are the two equal sides, then this is called the base. BC is the base. And that means that if that's the base, these angle B and angle C are the base angles. The base angles are opposite the equal sides. Angle B and angle C are the base angles. So here we go. Let's do some examples. PVT, PV, two strokes, they're equal. And VT obviously is not equal to those two, it's only one stroke. The equal sides are PV and PT. They're equal. The vertex angle is the angle formed by the two congruent sides, which is angle P. And the base is VT. And the base angles are angle V and angle T are the base angles. So the base angles are opposite the equal sides. Two equal sides, then the side that's not equal is the base, so therefore the base angles are on those two sides. EHI, notice EH is equal to HI and EI is not equal to those. So the two equal sides are HE and HI because they're marked equal. The vertex angle is H. The vertex angle, apex angle is formed by the equal sides. The base is EI because it's the side that's not equal in an isosceles triangle. And the base angles are opposite the two equal sides. This is the base, so E and I are the base angles. And we know that the base angles are going to be equal later on. Two equal sides, two equal angles. Practice. Pause the video and work out the three of these. Name each. The vertex angle or the apex angle. These are the two equal sides, so the vertex angle is J. The base angles, if that's the vertex angles, then the other two angles are the base angles. And these two sides in number 2, CAE, CE is equal to AE. That means the apex angle is angle E. And the vertex angles are C and A. Number 3, these two sides are 6 and 6, and GH is 10. So the vertex angle is W, the angle formed by the two equal sides, the vertex angle and the apex angle, and the base angles are G and H. Again, the two equal sides, then you have the apex angle formed by the two equal sides, and the other angles are the base angles, and the base, two equal sides, two equal angles. Let's continue. If two sides of a triangle are equal, then the angles opposite the equal sides are equal. That is, in any isosceles triangle, the base angles are equal. So notice in A, we got BC equal to AC. They're equal. So which angles are equal? So it's angle B is equal to angle A because they're the base angles. That's the apex angle. So the other two angles are equal. And these two sides are equal. That means that that's the apex angle. That means angle I is equal to angle H, because they're the base angles. You pick out the vertex angle between the two equal sides formed by the two equal sides, so the other two angles are equal. So notice that these two angles, B and I, are opposite the equal sides. Notice these are the two equal sides. So this angle is equal to this one. They're opposite the equal sides. And again, PX equals TX. These are equal sides. So the base angles that are equal is angle P is going to equal angle T. Notice equal sides. Opposite this side is angle P. Opposite this side is angle T. So these are the angles that are equal. This is the vertex angle, the apex angle. Practice. Which angles are equal in each? Two equal sides, angle T equals angle W. The angles opposite the equal sides. These two sides are equal, and this one is not. So opposite those two are that one and that one. So angle P equals angle S. Again, these two sides are equal, double strokes. This is three strokes, not equal. So the angle opposite those sides is angle V and angle Y. Angle V equals angle Y. Again, these angle formed by the two equal sides is the apex angle. Think of it as two equal sides moving up, and that's the top angle up above. That's the apex angle, like in the trusses of a roof. Think about it. Number 4, if HV, let's mark that, HV right there, equals HX right there, then these two angles, these two sides are equal. That means that the angles opposite those two sides are equal. So that means angle V equals angle X. These two sides are equal. Therefore, the angles opposite those two sides are equal. Number 5, using the numbers to name the angles equal. Use the numbers. If AB equals AC, if those two are equal, then the angles that are equal is 2 and 3. If AC equals BC, if these two are equal, then 1 equals 2. If AB equals BC, if this side equals this side, then 1 equals 3. They're the opposite angles. And just, if two sides are equal, two angles are equal. What angles are equal is the angle opposite those sides. Find the measure of each variable representing the angle. So, if these two sides are equal, that means these two angles are equal. So that means X is 70 degrees. And if that's a 70, and that's a 70, that's 140, so Y must be 40. Because it adds up to 180. And if these two angles, if these two sides are equal, that means these two angles are equal. So the triangle got 180 altogether. There's 80 right here. So if I subtract 80 from 180, I get 100. So that means A and B are equal, and they add up to 100. So that means that A must be 50, and B must be 50. Because if they're equal and add up to 100, 100 divided by 2 is 50 each. So there's 100 left, and you divide by 2, you get 50. So 50 plus 50, 100, 180 altogether. So notice, you subtract from 180 to get 100 and divide by 2 because they're equal. Notice the two angles that are equal. Angle A equals angle B, or A equals B. Practice. Work out all of these. Pause your video, work these out, and play it back to see if you got the right answer. Here we go. Find the value in degrees of each letter. So each letter. So if that side equals that side, that means that these two angles are equal. So you got 50, 180, subtract 50, gives you 130. And if you take 130 and divide by 2, you'll get a 65 each. So that means X is 65 and y is 65, because these two base angles are equal. So notice the angles opposite these two sides. Two sides equal, two angles equal. The angles opposite those sides are equal. Number 2, you have this side equal to this side with 3 strokes, and this one is not equal. So that means if these two sides are equal, that means this angle and this one are equal. So that's a 38, x is 38. Because these are the angles opposite the equal sides. 38 and 38, if you double 38, you get 76. 180 subtract 76 is a 104. So that means angle A is 104. So 104, 38, and 38 make 180. Number 3, these two sides are marked equal. That means that that's the apex angle and that's the vertex angle. These angles are equal. If these angles are equal, that means B is equal to 30. If B is 30, so we got 30 multiplied by 2 is 60. So 180 left over, subtract 60. That means that F is 120. Oh, I got the degree there. 120 degrees. Number 4, we have two sides equal. So that means that that means X is equal to Y. These two sides are equal, these two angles are equal, because X and Y are opposite those two equal sides. So if that's 140, 180, subtract 140 degrees, you get 40 degrees. And if both of these add up to be 40, that means they're 20 and 20. You divide by 2. Practice. Number 5. If one angle of an isosceles triangle is 80, then what is the measure of the other two angles? Now you got to be careful here. When you think about this, just think. It says that one angle is 80, but it doesn't say what angle is 80. It doesn't say if one of the base angles are 80. It just says one angle is 80. So that means if you put 80 here, if you mark that side equal to that side, and you put 80 on those two angles there because they're equal, that means this angle here is 20, because it's 160 from 180 is a 20. So the measure of the other two angles, one is 80 and the other one is 20. So 80 and 20. But if you put these two sides equal and you put 80 up here between those two, that's the apex angle. Can you get an angle down here? Well, let's see. So if these two are equal and you put 80 up here, that means that these two angles are equal. So that's 180, take away 80, and you get 100. 100 divided by 2 gives you 50. So that's 50, and that's 50. So if an angle is 80, it depends on if it's the vertex angle or it's one of the base angles that are equal. So there's two different scenarios here. Again, you have a difference. It depends. It didn't say what the angle was, so you have to go with both cases. So the measure of the other two angles is 80 and 20 or 50 and 50, depending where you put the 80. Be careful. Each acute angle of a right isosceles triangle. Watch, a right isosceles triangle. So that means we have a right triangle, which is there. If a right triangle is isosceles, the hypotenuse is the longest side. There's the hypotenuse, opposite the right angle. So the only two sides that could be equal are these two. A right isosceles, a right triangle, isosceles has two sides. So the only two sides could be equal are the legs. So if that's a 90, then these two angles here add to 90. That means if you take 90 and divide by 2, you'll get 45 degrees. So there's 45 and 45. Again, notice a right triangle has an hypotenuse, which is the longest side. The only other sides that could be equal are the legs, these two. So that means the measure of the acute angle, they are both 45 each. Let's continue. More practice. Work these out. Pause the video and work each of these out and see if you're going to get the right answer. So watch your thinking. If two sides are equal, then the angle opposite those sides are equal, what they call the base angles. Here we go. Number 7. We got these two sides equal here, and so this side is equal to this one, is equal to this one. So I know what this angle is, so I can deal with these two. I don't know what these are, so I got to be careful. So I got an 80 here, so 180 subtract 80 gives me 100. So that means x and y are equal because they're the angles opposite the equal sides. So 100 divided by 2 is 50. So that means x is 50 and y is 50. Okay, that's good. Because y is 50, that means that y and a, that's a straight angle. So that's 180 degrees here. So that means a is 180 minus 50. So a is 130 degrees. Got that? Because these two sides are equal, that means the angles opposite those sides, which is B and C, are equal. So B and C are equal, so 180 minus 130 gives me 50. And these two are equal, so 50 divided by 2 gives me 25. So B is 25 degrees and C is 25 degrees. Look around. Think. Isosceles triangle. Two sides equal. Base angles equal. Base angles opposite the equal sides. Number 8. O is the center of a circle. O is the center. And angle AOB, so that angle right there is 70 degrees. But you say, well, where are the equal sides? Well, you should know that if you have a circle, that this is a radius. Radius is from the center to a point on the circumference. And this is a radius from the center to a point on the circumference. And we should know that all radii of a circle are equal. So if I drew that segment there, that segment would be equal to that one, equal to that one. So if I drew that one, they will be all 4 of these would be equal. So since these two sides are equal, that means x are opposite those sides. X and y are equal. So 180 subtract 70 is 110, and 110 divided by 2 is 55. So that means x is 55 and y is 55. So notice the difference here. You have a circle, but the radii is equal. You got to be conscious of that all through the math. Number 9, we have a triangle. We have to follow this information. AC is perpendicular to BE. So since that's perpendicular, we put a right angle right there, and we put a right angle right there. It says AB is equal to AE, so we mark that as being equal. It says angle B is 50, so we mark that. Now we have to find what BAE is. We have to find this angle up right here. So if we have a 90 and we have a 50, there's 180 in this triangle, so that's 140, so that angle there is 40. Notice that that's a 90, these two add up to 90. And if that side is equal to that side, that means that this angle and this angle are both equal. So that means that's 50. And if that's 50 and that's a 90, it means that this angle is 40. So 40 and 40 makes 80. Or if you got these two and add them together, but if you have 50 here and 50 here, that's 100. So this angle up here in this big triangle, BAE, so what you have is a triangle that looks like this, A, B, E. So you have a 50 and a 50. So that makes 100, so there's 80 up there. So you could have got 40 and then 40 and added, or you could have done it this way and got 80. Number 10, PQ equals PR. PQ equals PR. TQ equals TR. TQ equals TR. Notice I got this with one stroke, and I got these with two strokes. They're not the same. We don't know they're the same. QTR is 110. QTR. This angle is 110. Angle P is 80. Angle P. There's only one P. There's only one angle. So I can say angle P is this angle right here. I can't say angle, notice I can't say angle Q, because what? Angle Q could be this big angle, it could be this little tiny one here, TQR, or it could be TQP. So there's three angles here. So I can't name these angles here with one letter, but I can up here because there's only one angle. Angle P is 80. Let's find what TQ or PQT. So I have to find this angle right here. I'm just going to put an X on that. There it is right there. How do I do it? Well, I know what these two sides are equal, so these two angles are equal. So that's 180. Subtract 110, that's a 70. That means these two angles here are both 35 each. Okay. Now, if I draw the big triangle, watch the big triangle now. So I got an 80 right there. So if that's an 80 with these two sides equal, that means if that's a PQR, then if that's 80, these two angles are equal, that's 100. So that's 50 and 50. So notice I got the big triangle. So this angle right here is 50. So if you think about doing this, if this is 50 and this is 35, then this must be 15. So PQT is 15 degrees because 15 and 35 make 50. So I had to use the small triangle right here, which is isosceles, and the large one. And then I had to subtract these two angles. Notice, keep thinking about the math you're going to be doing. Now, these are designed to make you think. That you will see this again later on. Number 11, we have these three sides equal, and we have those two sides equal. So we got an isosceles triangle here, we got an isosceles triangle here, we got an isosceles triangle here. So we notice that in this triangle, this angle equals this one. In this triangle ATC, I'm going to mark it different, that angle is equal to that one. And in this triangle TCF, these two sides are equal, so I have this triangle equal to that one. So I'm just keeping track. Two sides are equal, the opposite angles are equal. Two sides equal, opposite angles are equal. Two sides equal, opposite angles are equal. So you can see the dots, the circles, and the triangle. They're the ones that are equal. So a BAC is 60. And BAT, ooh, that's this big one. So that's this angle right here is 100. So that means if that's a 60 and this BAT is 100, that means that must be a 40. And now let's go to work. Let's see what we got. If this is 60, there's an isosceles triangle here. So 60, so 180 minus 60 is 120. So that means this angle is 60 and this angle is 60. It's 120 divided by 2. That's done. 60, 60. If this angle is 40, then we have 180 minus 40. So that's 140. So 140 divided by 2 gives me 70 each. So that means that's a 70 and that's a 70 because of the isosceles triangle. Now, how do we get to the angle ATF? Angle ATF is this one. That means I got to get these angles. So, watch, that's a straight angle. So 60 plus 70 is 130. That means that this angle right here is 180 minus 130. So that angle right there is 50, because that's a straight angle. 60, 70, and 50 make 180. If these two sides are equal, that means that angle there is 50. So if that's 50 and 50, because the two sides are equal, base angles are equal, that means that this angle here is 80, because 180 in that triangle. So ATF is a 70 and an 80. So 70 plus 80 is 150. So a lot of working around, a lot of thinking about the angles of a triangle 180, a lot of thinking about you got a straight angle and you got a base angles of an isosceles triangle are equal. Be careful, be careful, be careful. A good review, good work. These are good, excellent questions. And if you like my video, click on the like button, click on the subscribe button if you haven't already done so. And click on the notification bell if you haven't done so, because there's more videos coming. And write a comment if you wish, and visit my math website, www.mathfullyexplained.com. And there you'll have 3 sections, one on me, videos and content. Me has my degrees and teaching experience. In the video section, it tells you what strategies you're going to use to help you learn your math. And in the content section, you have the topics and the number of videos that are going to be in each section that are on my YouTube channel. And the black font is what's already online, and the red font is what I will have there in the future. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.